Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio. The Frankenstein earphone radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Well, welcome back to Frankenstein Control, everyone.
I bought a Tommy gun.
I bought a Timmy gun.
I bought a Bobby gun.
Dang it.
Bobby.
I'm okay. That's your Bobby gun.
I had other gun-related
Gun
humor.
jokes.
I did, and I had. Hang on, let me think. It was in relation to the sound. Damn it! Now I can't remember what it was.
In relation to the sound of music.
Your Tommy
the hills
gun.
are alive with the shots from my
Gun.
what's something that rhymes with alive.
Well, an MP40 would have been in Sound of Music because that's a Nazi gun.
Oh dear.
Oh, you are 16 going on 17 rounds per second.
This is a very American start to our.
Welcome to America.
Welcome to Frankenstein Control. How have y'all been doing since last we did this?
Damp.
Damp? Well, yeah.
It is a little humid in here.
I just
will
got
admit.
out of the shower.
Oh, that's true.
It has also just been generally humid and swampy. That would have been a correct, accurate answer.
But the weather's been
Positively
beautiful.
moist.
The weather's been beautiful though. It's been gorgeous for these past couple of days since it stopped raining.
It was very nice. It was so nice, in fact, that animals have come into my house to live there instead.
Oh, what brand of animals?
We had a bat.
A bat.
Oh,
wait,
dear.
a bat showed up?
A bat got in our house, and this was like a couple weeks ago. It was like about 10:30, 11 at night. I was turning off lights downstairs. I was getting ready to go to bed, and all of a sudden something flew at my face in the dark, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "What the?"
I would genuinely shit myself.
I think I was just sort of like, I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh fuck! It's a bat! There's a bat in the house!" And it was like, he had about an 8-inch wingspan. He was fairly.
That's a big bat.
Yeah, he was about the size of a small bird. And which is about how big bats are. I don't know why I felt the need to stipulate that, but
Now, was it the fruit-eating kind, or was it the scrape and lick kind?
I couldn't tell. He was probably a bug eater.
Yeah, I don't
Probably.
think we have
I don't-
vampire
I don't
bats
think-
around
yeah.
here. I don't think they're
That you know of.
We don't have vampire bats, and we don't have. I'm pretty sure all the fruit-eating bats are a tropical thing too.
Yeah.
So we have mostly bug-eating bats.
Okay, the good kind of bat.
He was, I think he was possibly a little brown bat, which is the cutest kind of bat, and also canonically the the bat of choice that I took for the model of my D&D character Meeps. He's
A little brown bat boy.
a photorealistic little brown bat.
Yeah.
Who is currently Ada's character's live-in servant,
I love that.
like a Alice from Brady Bunch kind of person. I could have said Jeffrey from Prince of Bel-Air, but let's be honest, Meeps is not a Jeffrey.
No. No.
He's far more capricious and capricious and strange.
No, just that
Swedish.
Yes.
stupid thing that you found a million years ago. Over the line! Over the line!
What? Oh yeah.
And Will Smith going,
I still have that.
you do?
Yes, I like bookmarked it. I should have just like downloaded it. I don't know why I
It's
haven't
very
done that
funny.
yet.
It's one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't finish the bat story.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
No,
Yeah, you
I
got
just
bit, now you're rabbit.
Yes. Well, no. Like, so I'm screaming. Well, not really that. I was mostly just like, what's funny? I've reached the stage of adulting where I was like swearing that there was a bat in my house, but it wasn't even the fact that there was a wild animal in my house. Is because I was like, God damn! Like I was just aware of the amount of work it was going to be to get him to not be in my house anymore.
You've reached that stage of adulting, but you haven't reached the stage of adulting where you refer to things as adulting.
Yes.
Or where you don't refer to that.
No. Well, I also do that because it's irritating and it's vaguely it pisses people off. Some people are pissed off by the word adulting. Yeah. Because
that's
it's annoying.
true.
And if anything, I like to be vaguely abrasive at all
Much
times.
like a sponge.
Indeed,
The
that's a
green
vaguely. Well, yes, the green part.
Abrasives make for smoother skin.
So Lissa finally hears me yelling, and she's like, I hear her yell down, like, what? I said, there's a bat in our house. And she said, I thought you said there was a man in our house. I grabbed a knife. And she said, I thought it was someone having a mental health episode that got in our house somehow because I heard all this incoherent screaming, but the incoherent screaming was me.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's a bat in here. And so
There's a man asking if concrete was a mixture, and he busted through the window.
we're a solution. And then he tried to do a dance move flip on the concrete and found out the hard way that he could not.
He, in fact, could not do it on concrete.
No. That noise.
And
man.
a guy got up and ran away.
Ran away like a GTA pedestrian. Just books it.
I showed a coworker. Well, I was talking to a coworker about that video, and he had seen it before, and I was losing my mind laughing. Like I couldn't stand because I was laughing so hard trying to recount this and explain it to somebody.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
It's
So
the
good.
it's the ultimate display of hubris and then paying for that hubris.
Yeah.
That-
It was very great.
It is
The
so.
thing that I do hate about it, though, is that because of how YouTube does things now, which is the worst way it can possibly do it at
It's a
any
short
given
now?
time. Yeah, it's a short now, so you can't just link the specific moment where he goes, "Oh!"
Yeah.
I should fucking do that. I don't respect my channel. I'll just get that one little bit and then just say the best part of you can't do this on concrete.
Yeah.
Well, then we got the best. So like. We looked up how to get the bat out of the house, and I was like, I don't want to call. First off, it's 11 at night. I don't think any of these animal control places are going to be open.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if they're going to get him out of here. I don't know how long they're going to take to respond to this, and I would kind of like to go to bed as soon as I get the bat out.
Yeah.
I don't want to be waiting up half the night to dealing with this. And like, also, I don't want them to hurt him. I love animals, especially bats. I think bats are cute, and we desperately need them for help with the bugs and the shit.
We like the bats.
And we like the bats. They're terrific.
We like. That's a funny thing to hear him say.
They fly around.
The flap, look at him.
So I was like, Alyssa's like, the guide here online says to catch me in a bucket. So I went downstairs. I went downstairs to get a
An
bucket.
empty bucket, Brian.
An empty bucket.
B-Rye, I mean.
I went down to get a bucket, and the bucket, of course, is in like the lower reaches of the house where we don't go that often.
And you know what's in there? A lot of bats.
Well, no, there was a spider web on the bucket. There was a spider, and I was like, I'm trying to catch a bat in a bucket. There's a spider already in the bucket. What is this Halloween house?
You're living in a spirit Halloween.
Then you tripped over a jack-o'-lantern trying to get back.
Yeah, I'm living in the fucking house.
You honestly could have tripped over a pumpkin.
Yeah, I could have, and I was like, I said, make sure he is locked up upstairs because the last thing I want is him tussling with this and getting rabies.
Yeah.
So shut up, pumpkin. While we
Baby, get rabies.
while I navigate our fucking house from Big Bad Beetleborgs to fucking get him out of here.
Oh my god.
The poor little guy, I kept trying to catch him, and finally he tuckered himself out and was like panting. He fell on the floor a couple times because he couldn't fly anymore because he was so tired. I felt so bad for him. And finally he fell, he was on like the drapes and he was so tired he couldn't move. So I ran up to him and I knocked him into the bucket, and then we slapped cardboard over the top of the bucket. And then, like, Lissa shook the bucket to see if he was in there or not, or if he had just fallen behind the drapes again, because he did that once.
You just hear,
Yeah. She's like, oh, God, I feel his little body in here.
Ugh.
And then I ran down the stairs and dumped him out on as gently as I could muster, I dumped him out onto the sidewalk, and he sort of staggered around for a sec, then he took off flying.
Yeah.
And we think he got in. But behind the scenes, for you folks at home, we're actually recording this on a Wednesday. Usually we record on a Tuesday, and Lissa has a pottery class Tuesday nights, which is why we had to make the day change.
so like she brought a pot home and a bat was in it?
Yeah, I think he just flew in the door after her.
Oh.
She got home late at night, and he was just like, "Ooh, bright light! I'm gonna fly in here! Oh no!"
That's odd.
Yeah. So that's the nearest. I hope that's how he got in, because otherwise we have a hole somewhere in the house.
You know, B-Rye would rather blame his wife than look to the obvious solution. You got to get rid of that belfry, dude. It strictly attracts bats.
It's why I bought the house.
You gotta. It's not feasible anymore. You're living in a fantasy world, B-Rye.
Yes, I know. I love fantasy. That's why I bought a spooky ass house with a belfry.
And a bunch of spiders.
Yes.
Bad setups.
You gotta stop digging that hole in the drywall whenever you have your delusions.
That's not really voluntary.
The hole in the drywall is where he keeps his eldritch secrets and his cat named,
Yes, I'm not going to say the name of that cat, but
Pumpkin.
Yeah.
yes, he's a good boy. Another thing that happened was my baby turned a year old.
Yeah.
And we had a party for that, and Lissa made a cake, and the cake involved mashing up a bunch of graham crackers into like a powder, a fine mist.
Yeah.
And she had a Tupperware container of the unused graham cracker bits. It was just sitting in a Tupperware container on our countertop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Don't touch that, because I'm gonna." Well, she told me I could touch it, but she's also like, "I'm using that to make a graham cracker crust for something else I want to make." But graham crackers are my absolute favorite snack of all time.
Really?
I fucking love them. Just regular old honey flavored graham crackers. I
didn't know that.
I love them. And so every night I'm just looking at this Tupperware container filled with graham cracker sand that I'm not supposed to touch. And I'm just like, the golden calf. Every night. I'm like,
it's like squand, but made of graham crackers, so it's gwand.
Give me the cracker sand.
And I got into it a couple times and ate a few spoonfuls of it because I have no self-control.
Is it like the cinnamon challenge? You put the spoon in, you just go, and a big old fucking cloud happens, and you get 1 million views on YouTube.
And then you die.
And then you die. Wait, did that happen?
I know that the cinnamon challenge causes like people to reflexively inhale it, and it like desiccates your mouth somehow, and it like makes kids choke and die or something.
Like a young kid could probably die.
Oh.
It's like it's so dry and so fine that just putting it in your mouth and like even breathing through your nose has enough like air flowing around inside of your body to suck up a little bit of it, and then once it gets in there, it's like, oh, you're coughing, and then it goes everywhere. And when you are tiny,
a little goes a long way.
Yes.
Sort of like giving beer to a cat. You only give a little bit of beer to a cat. Don't give a lot to a cat.
I give a lot of beer
So
to
that's
Pumpkin.
why Mickey likes you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I slide her some wine every now and again. I go, here you go, kitty cat.
Pumpkin goes through a 40 of
Ounce.
of Old English.
Pumpkin in the Steel Reserve.
I have to
Cat after
pour
my own heart.
I have to pour him part of a 40 of Steel Reserve or Old English 800. That's his favorite brand. I got to go all the way to Richmond for that. But he loves his Old English 800. I have to pour that into his bowl. He yells real loud for it.
He goes, ow! When's the last time you had a People's Beer of Richmond? When's the last time you actually physically snapped it to a PBR?
Good Lord, it's got to have been probably not since we were living in Richmond.
Yeah, like I can't remember the last time I've had a PBR since then, which is probably for the best. It's not a very good beer.
It's not.
I don't drink very often. I have maybe like 3 beers a year at a family function. So the last beer that I had was Sapporo because we were at it was Kirin Ichiban because we were at a Japanese restaurant. And that's the last beer I can remember having, and that was like several months ago.
You see, you can have a Kirin Ichiban, and they go, and they just like snort at you.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know why. Just to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
It's not even like a bad beer. They just want to make you feel bad.
I'm just imagining a really like judgy waiter, but he's judgy with literally everything.
Yeah.
So like the whole table orders like everything on the menu, and for every single thing he's like, all right. Oh, you'll be having that.
So what would you recommend then? Well, it's all good.
I like to eat the scum off the bottom of the sink.
Oh.
And then he like rips his skin off, and he's like a giant drain fly, and he just like flies away.
Drain fly.
Yeah.
What an odd thing. Is that a thing? A drain fly?
You don't know what a drain fly is? They're those little like shitty gnat bugs that hang out around your sink if you don't clean it right.
Oh.
You've never had a problem with that before?
Not really.
Yeah, it's rare, but I mean, I've had it happen.
Drain fly. Are they called drain flies, or
Yes.
that's just what you call
They're
them?
called drain flies.
Oh.
In nature, they eat leaf litter.
Leaf
Yeah,
litter.
like decomposing.
Loam.
Crap.
Loam.
in
What a
forest.
great word.
It is.
I know that word from Ruby and Sapphire and Pokemon.
I know that word because of Redwall.
I don't know that word because of Paul Red.
Paul Rudd taught
Paul
you that?
Red.
Paul
he
Rudd
came
taught
up, he came up to you when you were 7 and grabbed you by the shoulder and was like, "Listen, kid, I'm going to tell you all about loam."
I went, ah! Oh!
But you retained
Oh
the lesson.
my God! Have you ever seen a drain fly up close?
Yeah, they're kind of cute.
Yeah.
They're like just the big, like, fuzzy wings.
What do they look like? Let me see.
Yeah, they look like this. Well, you can't really see it because of my cracked screen. You can't see it real good, but
Oh, he's fuzzy. He looks like a little living soot sprite
he's
from
like
a Miyazaki
yeah, he's
movie.
like a little fuzzy
Yeah.
orb. Look at him.
Now I feel bad for all the times I done killed him.
Yeah.
I don't, but also, still.
I mean, they live for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
probably. That's the safe bet with all those fucking.
Why do they even bother
disgusting-
eating leaf litter if they got a 15-minute lifespan?
Because they
Because
got
they get to fuck during it.
yeah. They gotta charge. They gotta get some calories for some fuck.
Got a carbo load for fucking.
All this has been for this giant nut I've been preparing.
This lifelong nut.
Call them nut flies.
I mean, that's like cicadas are kind of like that. They live, they sleep for 17 years. They get out of the ground. They scream. They fuck. They die.
Salmon male grind set.
That was the original Sigma
Yeah.
grind set for sure. Ada.
Uh-huh.
That reminds me, speaking of being on that Sigma grind set, a very special thing happened
Uh-huh.
during the indeterminate amount of time that has passed.
Mm-hmm.
We watched a little something, didn't we?
Oh yeah, One Piece.
I'm
Yeah.
going to say and the end single piece.
Yeah.
I only saw the first half. But Taylor watched the whole thing in one day because he's a big wild man on cocaine.
It's because I couldn't stop. I was just like, oh my God, I can't stop watching Help.
It was because of the cocaine.
And because of the cocaine. But then I finally get through so much cajoling, so much haranguing, perhaps.
You didn't have to harangue me that much.
I finally got Ada and Jen to watch 4 episodes of the 8 episodes of the live-action One Piece.
Nice.
And guess what? As you've all probably seen all over the internet, it's really good.
Yeah.
I had a great time. Like I said, I couldn't stop watching it. And it wasn't out of hatred.
Yeah, that's good though.
Yes, it is immensely good.
They really did a good job with it as far as like treating it with the what's the word? Treating it the way it needs to be treated. They didn't try to like make it way too mature or like fit it into the mold of like the Marvel movie audience.
It is a bit quippy at times, but never to the point where it makes you think of a Marvel movie.
Yeah. They're not like ashamed of the fact that it's like from a goofy anime. Like it's still all very silly and
That's good.
campy and stupid in the way that One Piece is, but like it's like in a different way, but it's still in a good way. Like it's updated a little bit.
That's
And
good.
that's especially good because the beginning of One Piece is the worst part, aside from the Foxy arc.
Oh, which is the best arc.
No.
Oh,
I mean, they reference Foxy in one of the episodes.
They do.
You see his bounty poster.
that's their funny little nod
And
for
I'm
like, we are
"Oh,
never
God,
doing this.
They better not do that. They better not waste a fucking hour's worth of our time and hundreds of hours of the actor's time on that bullshit.
Well, think about it. If they get through season 2 and it's not a complete horrifying disaster, if they actually manage to pull off Alabasta in next season, and that means they're golden for like at least the 3rd season. And I'm actually worried about that because like I'm more worried about the 3rd season than I am the 2nd season. Because the 2nd season, it's either they do it great and they succeed, or it fucking sucks and we just forget it ever existed, and then we just move on with our lives. But 3, not only are you 2 seasons in, you're 2 seasons invested.
Yeah.
Season 3 will be fucking Jaya and Skypiea.
Oh,
yeah. which is not
the most popular arc.
But they could turn it around, maybe. I think.
But I mean, like, considering
some
some
of
the
it
treatments they've been
is
doing.
of why it's not as good as it just the pacing is not great. Mm-hmm. I think if they like
of Skypiea.
Yeah. Just like not enough really cool stuff happens fast enough. There's too many like lulls between the good parts of it.
Yeah, a lot of Skypiea
really
is fucking around.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what Skypiea... Like, in other arcs, you know, there's also fucking around, but it's like fucking around that serves one thing or another.
Or just doesn't last too long.
Or doesn't last too long.
Yeah.
And then Skypiea lasts a metric fuck long time. All those fucking tests of balls, which is a thing, that's for real.
Yeah.
There was like test of iron, test of swamp, and test of balls.
You gotta test your Boston balls, your Boston baked balls.
Yeah, ho ho, Satori. Yeah, all that shit. No.
Well, welcome to One Piece. We got 800 episodes. We got more filler arcs than thriller barks. We got more.
It's funny because early One Piece has the filler arcs.
Yeah.
And like post time skip One Piece is when they were like, wait a minute, we don't need to make
We can just drag out every single episode
until it's horrible and nobody wants to watch it.
Yep.
What do you mean? What's One Piece? What's that?
It's the only way
the fans made our series good for us?
Yeah.
Wow. We're the Bethesda of animation.
On the subject of pirates and Bethesda, I have quite a bit to say.
Just a wax. But one thing I want to say about the One Piece live action is that it's doing a very good job of condensing things without rushing it.
That's very, very rare.
Yeah.
That is so hard to do. That is almost the thing that kills most shows.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
I can't wait to get your opinion on that once you watch the other 4 episodes. Because, like, it's interesting.
Why?
I would say that, well, I don't want to sway you in any particular way. All I'm saying is, you know how there was 2 episodes for Syrup Village?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 episodes for the other arcs now, too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2 for Barate and then 2 for Arlong Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
And I will also say this, not to sway you in any particular way, but my favorite episodes are coming up.
Okay.
5 and 6 are my favorite episodes. 7 and 8 are good. They're good. They do their job as far as I feel. But 5 and 6 are just very good episodes. I like them a lot. Mihawk, I love what they did with Mihawk.
Yeah.
They used him effectively.
Speaking of Mihawk, I'm just thinking like, cause so one criticism that's not really valid criticism because it's just you can't change how physics in human bodies work. There's like all the guys in One Piece are fucking ripped.
Yeah.
And like fucking massive.
Oh yeah.
And you know, like I think Jen says there's only one mountain.
Yeah.
So you can't have Garp and Don Krieg and Whitebeard
and
Arlong be these just mountain of muscle men.
Right.
But like it's a One Piece staple to have really big, huge guys.
Okay, so hear me out on this one. I know I might be in a minority here, but I think it works only because, and you've probably noticed this too, while the fighting in the show is actually pretty good choreography. Really good choreography, and like, it's, you know, it's still over the top and wacky and stuff like that. Yeah. But you can't tell me that the level of, like, power in these characters has not been toned down to a more grounded sort of way in the live action series out of necessity, but like, I don't know, they kind of play it off like they did it as a choice. Like, now everyone is weaker. The world is just weaker than it is in the One Piece story, and I'm okay with that because it's an interesting way to look at One Piece now, where like One Piece is like watching a bunch of it's like watching a bunch of level 9 characters in D&D go through like a goofy town or whatever, like a goofy set of towns. Yeah. And then the live action One Piece is like watching a bunch of level 3s.
Yeah.
And those have their different charms. One is like, whoa, what? And then the other one is like, woo.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it works
a little
really
more
well.
peril.
Yeah, it's a little bit more peril. Like, everybody's always complaining, like, Luffy looks fucking mad weak in the series, yo. Like, Arlong beat the shit out of him. I'm like, good.
Yeah.
Let's get, I don't mind a little bit of drama.
Too much of early One Piece relies on, like, nerfing Luffy in a stupid way, as in like putting him in a cage, getting his feet stuck in concrete in the ocean.
He couldn't do that on concrete, and look what happened to him.
Did they cut that out?
Yes.
Okay, good.
They also cut Hachi out. I'm just going to tell you right now.
He was my favorite.
That's I'm a little sad about.
I'm sad that
he comes back later.
Yeah.
So how are they going to do that if he never showed up here?
I think or
are they just not intending to ever get that far?
I think they're just playing it fast and loose on that regard. Also,
this is our friend Hachin, and he has been here.
I mean, honestly, look, man, you could just have it to where doodly, we go to somehow through some fucking miracle.
Yeah,
we get all the way to Sabati Archipelago, and that's when we meet Hachan, and that's just when you meet Hachan.
Yeah.
He's a funny man who slings takoyakis or something.
Yeah.
And like maybe they have the budget to give him fucking 8 arms and a horrible dude face.
Yeah.
And that's the other reason why I'm like, I'm kind of glad they didn't, because I don't want to look at that.
I don't want to see that in real life.
Yeah.
I don't want that to walk on Earth with us.
That lives with us on Earth.
Yeah, the fishmen in live action One Piece are ugly enough. Hachi would just steal the show.
Yeah.
Like if we had Hachi in there. So I'm okay with it.
Well, they had him in the original test screenings of the show, but they had to cut him out because they just couldn't get any like value, any worthwhile critique from the viewers out of the rest of the show, because they wouldn't stop screaming every time he was on screen.
It's true. Hachi would be a wide awake nightmare.
So what do you think about Hachi?
They got tired of cleaning up all the vomit.
Yeah.
Ada, could you put a picture of Hachi up on the screen real quick?
Sure.
That's what he looks like. Yeah, you live action that.
Yeah,
try it.
Translate that into meat space, will you?
I will say, Arlong definitely not buff enough, but he does. To me, he did grow on me. By the second half, first half, by the first half of episode 8, I was like perfectly okay with small Arlong. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm alright with it. They do enough to show that he's like strong and a threat, again, by depowering just the world in general, including our heroes. Yeah. And I think that's a good move.
Yeah.
It's a good move. And they have they have more wiggle room going forward.
Yeah.
They have, with a weaker world, they don't have to worry as much about Avengers level threats until way fucking later.
Yeah.
And although with Mihawk, he does do something that makes you go, oh, and I think because the world is so much weaker, showing Mihawk do that makes you go, oh, fuck, that's the power ceiling? Oh, shit. So
The power ceiling.
I know, it's not.
Yeah.
But to the viewer,
Yeah,
they go, what?
I saw a picture of Mihawk from the thing, and I was like, he looks about as realistic as you could, about as much as you could translate how he looked in the anime to real life. They did a good job, is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
he fucking looks like him.
He looks a lot like him. Like it's a great casting. And I mean, like without spoiling too much, he is not 100% the ultra serious guy that we are introduced to in East Blue. Mm-hmm. There's a bit of comedy to his character in that he's so badass. It's funny.
Okay.
And I love it. He kind of acts like a bored celebrity. And it's awesome. I fucking love it. I can't wait till you see him. It's a good time. Live action One Piece.
So one thing I was going to bring up, talking about the how nobody's buff enough. I wonder how they're going to handle the large humans in One Piece, like how Whitebeard and Blackbeard and Kuma are.
Big Mom.
And Big Mom. They're not giants, but they're fucking huge.
Yeah.
So, like, are they just going to CG in a guy bigger, or are they going to make them normal human-sized, or are they just being like, can cross the bridge when it comes to it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Because Whitebeard shows up really early in the series, just as a hint thing. So they might not end up showing that at all. Or
So
what?
Here's my take on things. I'm okay with like Whitebeard. I'm okay with Kuma. I'm okay with these characters being like human-sized. I'm okay with it. Giants, they need to be big.
Oh, yeah.
So I will take human-sized Whitebeard if it means the giants are actually giant.
Yeah, Dorian Broggy.
And like, I also wouldn't mind if they do it like Game of Thrones style, where like the giants aren't like fucking 50 meters tall or whatever. In Game of Thrones, the giants are like the height of like 4 guys.
Like the Skyrim giants. They're like just,
Yeah.
they're like 12, 13 feet tall.
Yeah, basically, like, I wouldn't mind that either. Like, because you need to think about, like, framing and stuff like that. And if you have them, like, be, like, 12 feet tall or 13, 15 feet tall or something crazy like that, make you go, whoa! You could still play around with forced perspective for a lot of shots. If you get creative. You could pull some Peter Jackson shit. If it's like a 50-foot tall guy, you can't really do the forced perspective.
It's hard to
all that
work
well.
with that.
Yeah, it's tough to work with that. So like,
I mean, the scaling of the giants in early One Piece is like all over the place anyway.
Yeah. And also just in terms of like, they want to make the world weird.
Yeah.
Like the live action One Piece wants to keep the world weird as much as they can, as often as they can. They fucking got Muppets to play the snail phones and it looks horrifying and it's awesome.
I love it.
I love it.
We were saying like, we were talking about how are they going to do Chopper? Because like, you don't, it could just be a kid or like a little person in a suit or something, but like that might work, that might not. They might go the route where he's like mostly like human Chopper, so he like can just be played by a big buff guy with some prosthetics on. But Taylor suggested this, and I really want them to do it.
I can't claim credit for it, but go on.
Okay, I want him to be played by a Muppet.
That'd be fantastic.
Chopper is just like a very obvious Muppet puppet.
That'd be great.
The whole time.
It works.
I would love that.
Jeff Thu, the guy, Mother's Basement is his YouTube channel. He's the one who started... Who Mother... No, his channel is called Mother's Basement. His name is Jeff Thu, professional shitbag. That's how he introduces himself. And he proposed... the hashtag make Chopper a Muppet.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, the fuck are you talking about? But by the end of his argument, I was like, I kind of want Chopper to be a Muppet.
Yeah.
Because his main argument was, okay, so think of every CGI, like, monstrosity that you've ever thought of. The people, like, look through the characters and it looks awful. But, like, there's something about a Muppet. There's something about a Muppet that makes anybody who's acting alongside that Muppet, they're just so, like, charmed and, like, they just regard this thing as a living creature and
because it is.
And not a special effect.
That's the fucking magic of puppetry, and you just don't get that with CGI models.
Yeah, and so I'm like, fucking make Chopper a Muppet. But
make
here,
him a Muppet.
I will leave you all with this prediction. Tony Chopper, in order to get... so here's what we're going to do. Tony Chopper will be in their hybrid form almost all the time. They're going to make Chopper a girl. And they're going to make Chopper fucking hot. What? Chopper's not going to be a young kid anymore. She's going to be a hot furry.
She's going to be a hot reindeer lady.
She's going to be a hot reindeer fawn furry, and everybody's going to be on the... So basically what I'm thinking of is that, like, okay, so you can't go to the... What's your first thought? Oh, make him like Detective Pikachu. That'd be adorable. Yeah, that'd also be $15 million per episode.
Yeah.
So fuck that. You'll never see his form on screen, and that sucks ass. So I would rather have some consistency. So here's what we're going to do. Chopper is the main moneymaker, right? The main moneymaker of the series. The mascot. Exactly.
Pikachu.
We sell the merchandise. Here's what you do. Make Chopper a hot furry lady. And then you start making some statues. And that's how they make the merchandise.
Yeah.
They depend on a lot of hot gluing folks to make them the billions.
No.
And that's my thought. That's what Tony Chopper's going to be, a hot reindeer nurse. And that's my thought.
That's your TED Talk. Thank you for coming.
Oh, they'll be doing plenty of that.
They'll be coming.
They'll be making lots of
Don't worry.
plenty of cream of mushroom.
Ugh. I'm into this.
Dr. Healer died because he ate a chopper's mushroom.
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.